people old enough to remember life pre-internet, what are some less obvious things you miss about that time? The Sears catalog. That was how I found out about all the cool new toys. The Christmas wish book. Highlight of the year. I miss my video game magazines. The thrill of getting one in the mail, often multiple because I had several different subscriptions, to read up on the next thing coming out, strategies for games that recently came out, and just the fun articles about related material were some of my favorite memories. When you bought new music, you just had to hope it was good. The single might be popular, but otherwise, unless someone had it, you just bought it and hoped for the best. There was so much excitement to going to a CD store to buy an album that you only knew one song of or the band/artist name, and just listening to that entire CD over and over again, picking out which tracks were your favorite while still learning every lyric to all the songs on the album. Building a CD collection was also fun. I used to love sitting there with the booklet reading the lyrics while listening to each song. It was the easiest way to learn them. The instant win bottle caps, candy, chocolate bar wrappers where you could turn them back into the store and immediately get a free one. Now it's just codes you have to register on their website, so they can get your info. I don't even bother anymore. I've often wondered if this was actually a boon to soda/candy companies, because I have to imagine having to go to a site and input a code is enough of a deterrent for people to not even bother, therefore leaving prizes unredeemed. I don't even bother either. Seeing 3-inch 644F inside a bottle cap definitely isn't the same as one free drink in a bottle cap. Reading the newspaper and magazines used to be just about one of my favorite things. Now it seems pointless to clutter the house with so much paper when I can access all of it online, but of course I don't. I pick and choose just a few articles. I don't really browse the way I would before, and I encounter a lot fewer new or enlightening things. Getting the Sunday New York Times and then going out for brunch and reading it with your friends/dates was such a treat. I used to get so excited when my favorite magazines came in the mail. I'd immediately sit down and leaf through them and see what was worth reading right away and what could wait. Video rental stores. I have such good memories of going to our local Mr. Movie with my dad, renting a sci-fi flick and getting candy at the checkout. Streaming is cool and all, but I do miss video rental stores, mainly for nostalgic reasons. It used to be a lot harder to bail on things. You'd have to call the person at home and tell them yourself, or at least leave a message if you wanted to be risky. Typically, if you were going to bail, you'd give at least 24 hours notice. Nowadays people can let you know they're bailing last second since you're always reachable. Man. When I was a teenager, we'd agree to meet up in town and go to the cinema or whatever, maybe using the landline or maybe at school in the week. Then Saturday morning you'd leave the house, walk or bus into town, and go hang around the meeting place until the agreed time. I was unreachable from the moment I left the house, but I never worried about people not turning up. The fact that people would be waiting for you meant that you didn't dare drop out. It felt completely normal at the time, but the idea of doing that now seems crazy. I get a bit anxious if I go for a walk round the block and realize I left my phone at home. Or better yet, just not message you or anything nowadays. I was going to hang with someone I haven't seen in years, and we even made plans to go get some lunch. Never messaged me back about what time. You had to call someone's home phone number and talk to their parents first before you could talk to your friend. Video game cheat codes either spread by gaming magazines or by word of mouth. Sometimes that word of mouth was bull crap. I'm looking at you, Tomb Raider new cheat code. I never thought of the parents thing. I knew all of my good friends' parents well because of this. They would chat with me and get to know me before passing the phone. Thank you for bringing up a small but significant aspect of culture that doesn't exist anymore. As a kid I hated it and just wanted them to pass the phone, but looking back that's how I connected with their entire families. When I see them now it's easier than ever to talk with them and I truly enjoy it. The absolute absence of push notifications. Life just waited for you like a good person. News only being on at 6 p.m. That was it. Now we have 6 hours of local news and 24 hours of cable news. Not being bombarded all day with news. And when you saw breaking news on the screen, you knew some serious crap went down. Edit. My old brain interpreted pre-internet as when you were a kid. So yeah, cable news was a thing, or internet. But you all know what I mean. When I was a kid, local news was noon for 30 minutes and 6 p.m. for 30 minutes, then network news was 6:39 for 39 minutes. I think local might have had a 11 p.m. too, but I don't remember for sure. Edit 2. For those sending me private messages, I cannot see them. Some Reddit glitch or something. Anyway, thanks for the awards and allowing me to wax nostalgic. Peace. It also gave you time to process information, especially when it was something bad/major. Now we're constantly bombarded with what seems like bad thing after bad thing, and then everyone's opinion on it all over social media. I feel like we used to go to the news, but now the news comes to us. And it's mostly bad news now because that's what gets clicks. Being mattered. If you said you were going to be there, you made sure to be there. None of this Facebook invites that everyone blows off without any form of social repercussions. If you said you were going to go and didn't go, you were the butthole and everyone knew it. I was going to say something similar. If you said meet me at the coffee shop at 3:00, you had to meet then and there. Even if you didn't feel like it, even if you got a better offer. It's now so easy to text and change the time, the location, cancel. We've created a whole generation of people who consider every plan a maybe. Ghosting is rampant even though it's easier than ever to cancel, because no one feels any obligation or commitment to a plan. Leaving home and just being gone for the day. No cell phones. If there were cameras, it was really different. You used them to take pictures of things or had people take pictures of you. But there was no social media to preoccupy your mind. It was just doing something. And whoever you were with, was who you were with. Piggybacking off being with whoever you were with, there used to be more incentive to be out and about. If you weren't there, you missed it. Also, hangout spots being a thing because it was the only way to be in the know. Yeah, that was so cool. Going to go down to the usual hangout and spot and see who's there. Sometimes everyone was there and sometimes no one. You could chill out alone to see if someone pops by or have your own adventure and link up later. Been to more than one small town that had a cruising street. It was jammin' on the weekend. Yep, small town here, had one main drag that was the spot for the 16 to 20 crowd that was too old, or rather, too cool, to be mall rats, and too young to be at the bar. So you just do laps all night, see who else you ran across, and get into other crap from there. Some nights it was just boring, cruise for a couple hours and go home. Other nights we'd run into friends, end up at a party or hangout that someone else knew about, and wind up having some of the best nights of my youth. And not knowing what would happen was half of the fun of going out. Not being overwhelmed by choice. Don't get me wrong, having nearly every form of media downloadable is great, but back in the day, I rented a video game and I played that video game as much as I could. Now, it's hard to give it more than 2 seconds before I try one of the 20,000 games I have access to. New Game Plus used to be cool. Now, I'm happy if just beat the game. Pre-internet, go down to the local Blockbuster, spend as long as you can picking the perfect movie or game to rent, then go home and setting in for the evening/weekend. Choices really had more of an impact. Picked in crappy movie? Well, you either suck it up and watch that crappy movie and get your money's worth, maybe it's actually a weird gem, or accept there isn't enough time to go back and get another movie to rent. Post-internet, first you pick a streaming service, then you browse all the new movies and or TV series available to you, then look up that movie how your friend recommended you, or maybe see what popular movie how everyone is watching and contemplate checking it out, but end up watching another episode of Scrubs/Futurama before falling asleep to it autoplaying. While I may now have near infinite choices at my fingertips, it just means I'm more likely to pick something I'm familiar with and just watch the same things over and over again. Back in the day, I'd just sometimes flip on HBO or some other movie channel and just check out what movie's playing. Got to see some weird movies, but also found interesting ones as well. I miss having an attention span of more than 3 seconds. It's so weird. I can only vaguely remember what it feels like to not have a smartphone and to be alone and think. Wondering what my friends are doing and if they'd like to do something on the weekend. We'd have to talk during lunch break at school and plan it. Trying to find the answer to a math problem. Having to figure it out by rereading the problem and explanations 5 times. Not being accessible to my boss 14 hours a day. Yes, 100%, yes. Hell, not being accessible in general. Now with everything there's this expectation that you have to be available 24/7 and always reply. Friends, family, and of course the job being the worst part of it. From time to time I still just disconnect everything, but then I'm the dickhead that takes days to reach back. I miss the time when that was just normal. I hate being in constant contact because it never gives people enough time to actually do interesting things or gather up stories to talk about. Hey, what's up? Oh. Not much. Sitting around today. Repeat X1000 every day. I prefer talking to people every now and again, because then you actually have things to talk about. I hate meaningless conversation and sometimes I come across as a butthole for that. I don't like small talk. And I don't think being silent around people is weird either. I feel this. Not long ago my CEO emailed me at like 11 p.m. on a Sunday. Since my work email comes to my phone I read it, since it's my CEO I answered it. Her reply: thanks, but why the hell are you replying to me at 11 p.m. on a Sunday? My response back: cause I always reply to my CEO immediately. So stop emailing me at 11 p.m. on a Sunday. Luckily she thought it was hilarious. Sitting down in the evening to read a book because there was nothing on TV. With today's streaming services, there is so much more media being produced, and it's all available at the click of a button whenever you damn well please. It can easily become an endless loop of what to watch next. I remember when there used to be 8 channels. You either had to watch General Hospital or find something better to do. You could be the cool guy that remembered crap. Like whom was in what movie or the themes to TV shows. Now IMDb makes everyone that guy and it's not special. There's a lot of little things like that. Before the internet, people with crazy ideas lost confidence when they could not find others who agreed. On the internet, you can easily find at least 100 people who will agree to something, even a totally crazy idea. As a holdover from the olden days, the 100 people who agree with you seems like a lot. My formative years were the 1980s. I remember like yesterday going to study in Paris my junior year of college. I got off the plane with no cell phone, no internet, a Let's Go Paris book, and just a hostel address written on a piece of paper I'd stuck in a French dictionary. I did not know a single person in all of France. I had $500 of cash stuck in a money belt. The belt was tight and sweaty, but that money had to last me for at least a month until I could find a part-time job with my lousy French. My credit card was my father's credit card numbers written down on a piece of paper. He told me I could only use it to buy a plane ticket home in an emergency. I remember standing in the airport and having this powerful emotion of being 21 years old, scared crapless, but in absolutely completely control of my own destiny. There was absolutely nobody who could come rushing to my aid if I needed it. I was 100% on my own. I'm actually very thankful for that experience. I found the hostel. I found a job. I made friends. I learned French. I made it all on my own, which was just a big boost in life confidence. I have no doubt if I'd had a cell phone I would have called my parents on day 2, told them it was too hard, and been on the next plane home. But I had no other choice but to succeed. When you used to play outside and the only curfew you had been when it started getting dark outside. Or when Dad let out that super loud whistle that could be heard for blocks and you knew it was dinner time. Drop those Sega controllers at the neighbor's house and hoof it home. Simplicity. I don't even know how to describe it. Like my days were filled with playing outside or swimming or reading in tree out front. And reading shampoo bottles while you pooed laughing out loud. The effort that people made to stay in touch. Now, it is effortless, but people don't bother with anything but social media. I miss the unknown. The ability to start over. I moved a lot, every move I could reinvent myself, bookworm, punk, preppy. I got to try out lots of aspects of my personality and my past wasn't a factor. I also miss patience. I get annoyed at TV ads now. Radio makes you listen to the whole song, even when you sooner like it. I'm far too comfortable with instant gratification. Edit. Thank for the award. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.